What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Dripping Creativity Podcast. I am your host, Chris Corvan, and if you hear a loud sound in the background, that is because I have a shit ton of fans going on. It is very hot in this damn place, and I ain't turning them off to record this. Today, we invite you to step into the spine-chilling world of horror and filmmaking with the incredibly talented Allie Chappell. Allie hails from Toronto, Ontario, is an actor, award-winning director, and writer whose journey through the world of horror is captivating as it is inspiring. I promise you are going to love this. We went off the rails. It was just so much fun. Don't forget, right now, hit that subscribe button. It really helps all of us out here at the Creative Coffee Cafe and Dripping Creativity Podcast to just continue making amazing stuff for all of you. So please do that. Now, enough of that shit. Let's jump right into it. Allie, why don't you tell us all a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, I am Allie Chappell. I am from Toronto, Ontario. I am an actor and an award-winning director and a writer and just a bunch of other hyphenates, because in this industry, you pretty much have to be like a multi-hyphenate across the board. Otherwise, you have way too much free time and you're not getting hired as much.
That is the complete truth there, as my cats are going crazy over there. Yeah, here we go.
I'm on the pod.
Oh,
Cat.
They come, yeah, you'll possibly see them. So anyways, getting into the whole industry concept there, what drew you specifically to the horror genre?
Oh my God, no, I was always a little spooky kid. Sorry, I'm drinking pop, so I just burped a little. I tried not to be like super loud and aggressive on camera, but I could
let it
out.
Just let it out, man.
Normally I would like burp and then blow it directly into somebody's face because I think that's funny. No one else does. The amount of friends are like, "Can you stop doing that?" And I'm like, no. But yeah, horror. I was a spooky kid growing up. Like, I was introduced to horror at like way too young of an age, I feel like, as most horror fans are. And then I would be the one, having sleepovers and being like, I got a scary movie for us to watch, and just like traumatizing all my friends with like my Bloody Valentine or one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, or just like whatever one I could kind of like get my hands on.
Okay.
And then it just kind of escalated from there.
So then, like, I know with me, my father, in the process of his glorious teaching me about the film industry, had me watching Poltergeist at, I think it was 7 the first time I watched it, Aliens around the same time. Was there a defining moment in your upbringing that kind of solidified this passion for horror?
Truthfully, I don't think so. Like, I feel like everyone has, these defining moments of like, they can remember the first horror film they saw, and I'm like, I could not tell you what the first horror film I saw was. I don't think I have those defining moments. I think it was just something that like I was always interested in and wanted to just keep exploring it more and more. And we were, walking distance from a Blockbuster and a Rogers Video, which I don't know if everyone in Canada had a Rogers Video where you could like get your cell phones, but you could also rent VHS tapes and like DVDs. Now they're just a cell phone and internet provider. So I feel like they got less cool. They went too corporate. But that's how I would spend a lot of my time. And like, during the summers, like we were raised by a single mom because my dad passed when we were very young. So she would be working, it would just be me and my brother just hiking down the highway to go to the video store and like seeing what we could get away with renting. But at least by that point, I feel like they were like, they're fine. Their mom approves of this. It's fine. Let them rent it.
So going into the influences then, since we can't lock down why it's there, it just is. But in terms of, let's start with the filmmakers. Who's kind of your go-to and when you're pulling inspiration?
Like across all boards, or just like
well,
like broadly speaking, like
let's narrow it down just for the sake that I think it'll keep you on the rails a little bit more.
Will it now?
We're gonna find out.
Obviously, like when I've done a little bit of body horror stuff, like Cronenberg is a big example because he really knows how to do that right. And his kids are really taken off too. Like Brandon's fucking crushing it with Infinity Pool and Antiviral and the other stuff he's done. And then his other kid, oh my God, Catherine. Cronenberg. He just released her first film called Humane, and I haven't seen it yet, but like I have high hopes. And it's also a very nice Canadian cast. Like Jay Baruchel is in it and Emily Hampshire. So I'm gonna watch it. It's just it hasn't had a wide release here. It played like a handful of days at this one theater here, but like I couldn't make it out. Sorry, my allergies are like fucking me up today. Oh,
You're
am I allowed to swear? Podcast? Okay.
Swear, fucking swear away. You're fine.
But I feel like, I don't know, director-wise, it's hard because there are so many directors that give me bits and pieces that I really like. Like, I like the obscure meta-ness that, like, Wes Craven gave us. And then I like the literal terror of, like, Michael Myers that, like, John Carpenter gave us. And then, like, just stretching across decades. And, of course, the famous man of cinema, the auteur that kind of gave us everybody, Roger Corman, who just passed away, which is sad, was also just a big influence, not just on horror, but on like cinema. He gave like all the greats their start. Like Joe Dante, I think is great. I think he is like the sweetest man alive. And his movies are great. But he also gave us, like Martin Scorsese and John Carradine and all these other people. And just, it's very sad that we lost him. And then of course you have like Clive Barker, who just goes so hard into like the obscure and the fucked up and the fetishness of things. And I feel like I've just named a bunch of male directors and I should be naming some female ones. But off the top of my head, I should have prepared more for this interview. It's like when people are like, oh, what's your favorite movie? And I'm like, oh, I've never seen a movie before in my whole life. Like
literally, you are the first person I've ever dropped these types of questions on, and it was specifically to put you on the spot because I thought it'd be fun.
You thought it'd be fun? I mean,
thought it'd be fun. Because
I feel like it would be like, couldn't think of one fucking director, and I'd be like, you know what? I tried. Like I really did.
I don't even remember my middle name right now.
Yep. I'm like, what are we even talking about midway through this sentence?
It's all good. It was just random get to know you shit, and I think we learned a lot from all of that.
Exactly, and plus, outside of horror, Sofia Coppola is like a huge influence because I could watch her do everything. Like, I could watch her do movies where it's nonstop dialogue, like in The Bling Ring, or I could just watch her do stuff like in I'm gonna fuck this up. Nowhere, where it's like Steven Dorff just doing nothing. He like lives at a hotel, then he goes to a party, and then he goes back to the hotel, and then he hangs out with his daughter. I'm like, there is no fucking plot to this, and I could honestly stay in this world forever. Because I like movies that can do that, and I think she is amazingly great.
Definitely. So, okay. Going back to the broader strokes there, and not just horror, because I mean, sure, you are very touted as a horror individual, but there's more to you than this. There is so much more. Outside of hell, even just the film industry itself. Let's take a step back and just look at you. What types of things do you do to just relax and hang out?
Oh my god. So I admit this everywhere, but I am obsessed with Lifetime movies. Like, I watch as many, I feel like weekly I'm watching like at least 2 to 5 Lifetime movies. But yeah, I watch a stupid amount of Lifetime movies. It is just, they're fun. I know people like shit on them, but they have been around for decades. So many celebrities have starred in these movies. Like, even still, we get celebrities starring in them. Like, Lisa Rinna was just in one, and she is a fucking, like, soap opera queen. And also a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills queen. And also Mrs. Harry Hamlin. But I am obsessed. I'm going to direct them or act in one or something. That's why this screen is up, and I probably shouldn't say it out loud, but I auditioned for a Lifetime movie yesterday, and I just haven't taken down my self-tape setup yet. It's not obstructing my apartment at all. Like,
dude,
that's future Allie's problem. She'll do it later.
That's spoken like a true ADHDer right there.
Ooh, Yeah, that's why I try to really focus on like, don't look at the rest of my apartment where I just have like stuff that I have to deal with, that I'm like, Friday is my day to sit down and just get through everything.
All you see is this white wall right now. The other side is the rest of the room. You don't get to see that shit.
Love it. Otherwise, yeah, when I'm like relaxing, I love a good docuseries or a documentary. Like, I am here for all of the murders. I'm here for all of that stuff. I want to learn more. And also just like documentaries just about films. Like Shudder has a bunch of really good ones, like Sharksploitation, where I was like, oh, I would like to learn more about shark movies because sharks are scary. And I am a sucker for reality shows.
There we go.
Like, you were waiting for me to say it.
Just waiting.
Yeah, like every Tuesday, I'm watching my Vanderpump Rules. And I'm just sitting there like in my bed eating, being like, yeah, what the fuck, Sandoval? How dare you? Idiot. And then, Wednesdays we have Survivor, which like 46 seasons, y'all. It's going strong. People fucking love Survivor.
Okay, so we have lots of this stuff. Do you ever leave the house?
Oh my God, no. Yeah, I make an effort to leave my house because I also like do a lot of work from home. So I'm always end up being here. And then while I'm doing work, like I know some people are like, oh, I just listen to music when I work. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know why, but I can't do that. Just like I can't listen to podcasts while I work. But I'm like, I'll just throw a Lifetime movie on. I'll just throw on stuff that is like background noise and just kind of veg into that while I'm working. But I have to leave the house every day, even if it's just to like go to the gym or go grocery shopping or like walking around the city to get my 10,000 steps in. Like I have to leave because I know that in the winter I won't. Like it'll get too cold and I don't do well in the cold and I will just hunker down and be a hermit and not go anywhere or see people. So like when it's summertime, I'm like, okay, in the morning you can stay inside, but in the evening you have to go out, or the evening you can stay inside if during the day you're going out. Or some days I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend all day, like 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. I'm gonna be outside all day. And then the next day I'm like, cool, I'm not leaving bed because I did too much social stuff.
That's honestly completely relatable. I'm much the same way, where I have a very strict routine on what time I have to leave the house every day to go do something, just to get out. Same with the exercise. It's always a specific time of day, because with my ADHD specifically, if I don't have a routine, I have no interest in doing it.
Yeah, I need that routine.
Yeah, so it's very much, and it has to be every day. If I miss a day, I'm starting from ground zero. Like
it's a whole schedule, and you just
has to be every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally get it. Relatable. I love it. I'm glad you get out and see some things. That's important.
No, I do. I try to do it a lot, and I try to like whenever I can go on hikes. It's a little hard being in like downtown Toronto, so I have to like drive to go for a hike, which I'm like, it's nice, but it'd be great if this was like not a 45-minute drive away.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna drive 45 minutes, you got Calgary here with the Rocky Mountains right there.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Bring me out to Calgary. I've never been to Calgary. I think the only place in Alberta that I've been to was I went through Banff.
Yeah.
Because that's on the Trans-Canada, right? Yeah. And I went to Lake Louise.
Mm-hmm.
And like I did the gondola up to the top. And then we looked around and we were like, this is cool. And then we got back on and went back down.
See,
I don't do a lot of winter sports. So I was like, I'm just here to go to the top and then leave. It was like a Groupon and we were on a road trip.
Hey man, it works. Like if you were to come down here, I would take you and your man there. We'd go down, we'd see Drumheller, the Badlands with all the dinosaurs and shit.
Oh, I've been to Drumheller.
Yeah, that's a good shit.
And I've been to Vulcan.
Oh, you got to go to Vulcan at least once.
Yeah, it was super cool. My family are a bunch of trekkers, and it was really great going there. And the Badlands were cool, I gotta say. Like, that was a very interesting part. And all of the dinosaurs.
Yes. The one thing I do love about Alberta, environmental wise, is you have the Rocky Mountains on the one side, and they're beautiful and gorgeous and it's lovely, but at the same time you go all the way the exact opposite side with the Badlands, where you got all the fucking hoodoos and shit, and it's all, you know, basically subterranean, because
It's so cool.
and it's just such a vast difference of environments that are just fun to walk around in.
Yeah, because the West Coast has so much more going on than the East Coast does. Like Ontario, we got new condo buildings. And if you want to drive, it takes like 3 days to get out of Ontario if you're driving. Like from where we are in Toronto, like you can't do that trip. If you drove for 24 hours straight, I don't think you can get out of Ontario in that amount of time. It's stupid.
I've only ever stopped in a layover in Ontario. Yeah.
Was it in Toronto or was it in Ottawa?
No, it was Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was Calgary, Toronto, to Salt Lake City, and then over to England.
Wow, that is too many.
Well, you know, it was a junior high thing for grade 9s. So I'm guessing they were going for you know, discounts.
For cheap over, yeah.
So
But
a lot of
ooh,
layovers.
that's too many. I would be like, no, thank you. I'm not great with flying to begin with, so I'm very much like, flights only. And obviously, unless I'm going to like Australia, where you have to go to Los Angeles and then fly out of Los Angeles, that's different. But if it's like in the province, I'm like, if it's in the North America, one flight, that's it.
Rolling it back there, you're doing a lot more directing.
Yes.
And a lot of stuff coming in. Why don't we talk about the latest project there, the little short film?
Oh, yes. So I have a couple of shorts.
You do. That's actually how I found you, with the shorts.
Yeah. There was my debut short that I made called Verified, which took home a bunch of awards, and it was super great and fun. It's all online now. And then I have 3 more shorts coming out. One is almost done. It could, in theory, be done today, because I got all this stuff to finish it off, because it was just like sound and music, and I just got the files last night, and I was like, yes, I'll finish this today. And then I'm like, no, I'm gonna finish it on Friday. What's one more day? And then that will be going. That one's called Peaches, and it's like a 2-minute micro short that we made like 2 years ago, and then life happens and stuff gets backburnered, as I feel like happens with everybody. And at the same time, I made another short 2 years ago called Absolution that also got backburnered, and we were supposed to refilm some of it, and then life just gets in the way with everyone's schedules, and like we're working on like 0 budgets. And then so finally, like last year, I started teaching myself through like YouTube videos how to edit. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a crack at this. I'm just gonna see if I can edit any of this stuff and turn it into something. And that's how we got those 2 shorts to kind of be finished almost now. And then I also made a music video for fun to see if I could do more videography, if I could get behind the camera a bit more and actually do stuff, because like if I can edit, if I can film my own stuff, I'm just saving money, because I'm very much a low to no money filmmaker right now. So we made a music video called Love Butcher, and it's for my partner Chris Alexander's music, because I wasn't about to license any music, and I was like, I'm gonna do this, so I hope you like it, and if you don't, whatever, I'm not paying for this music, because we've been dating for 7 years, so I hope it's cool. And then yeah, I made it. Oh my god, I feel like everything I did was 2 years ago. I will film newer stuff, like Love Butcher we filmed a couple months ago, but we had another short film called Malediction that was in post-production hell for 2 years. It was just one thing after another, and then finally it got finished, and now it's out to film festivals, and hopefully it gets picked up soon. And yeah, I've been really liking getting behind the camera more and being a director, because like as an actor for so many years, I know what I look for in a director, because like some directors are literally just all about the shot and the gear and all that stuff, and it's less about the acting and more about like the look. And I'm more about the acting, so I always work with like a like a DP that like I know I can trust him with the shots that I want, and I can just focus squarely on like getting a performance out of somebody. And I mean, I don't know how it is in Calgary, but there's not a lot of work in Ontario, despite what everybody keeps saying. And when I joined the union last year, I became basically unemployed for a full year. Because there's just, I mean, between the strike and then between just everything aggressively slowing down and the whole stuff with ACTRA and the lockout, which like I won't get into, but like look it up. Apparently I just got an email that we've come to a tentative agreement about that. So I'm like, good, because that's a lot of livelihoods to deal with. But it allowed me to focus more on just directing and creating and kind of letting stuff flow that way. And plus, I became like a boss. But like a cool boss, like a chill boss.
One of those chill bosses, you know how it goes, man. You know.
Chill bosses who like don't yell at people.
God, yeah, I think we've all been there. So, okay, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yes, I said a bunch of stuff.
I really
probably all
take it
all
in. You know, embrace what was discussed. So let's go back. The short films, amazing. Very excited for all the ones coming out. Absolutely, the ones that have been there. I will link some of my favorites in the description here because you all definitely need to watch these ones. They're so good. They're so much fun. But so with this delay that has happened with a lot of different projects and all that, the one question that pops in my mind, because it comes up time and time again, is where do you find the motivation to keep pushing through? Because a lot of times, especially with those types of things, you get hit with these back burner things and issues, and you want to just quit and give up and not do it. How do you find yourself pushing through those things?
Oh, I feel like I have like a slightly toxic attitude towards it, in a way that like by no means should anyone think the way I think, but I'm very much like, if I'm not doing this, if I'm not either directing or writing or acting, then I am nothing and I am worthless and I don't see a point in being alive. So if I'm not doing this, in my mind, I'm dead. And that's not a healthy way of doing fucking anything. And I do have stuff outside of the film industry that I do, like see a therapist. But it's that drive where I'm like, I have been doing this for like acting for like 2 decades and getting into directing over the last couple of years and expanding things that way, that I feel like if I quit now, I'm just fully admitting faults. I'm, being like, everyone who said all that bad stuff about me when I was growing up about, you're not going to make it, it's too hard of an industry, blah, blah, blah. You're not rich and you're not a Nepo baby. I don't want them to be right. So there's a bit of spite that goes into it as well. I'm very Larry David in that sense, where I'm like, I will do stuff just to spite you.
That is actually perfect, because it ties a lot into things I've talked about before with other people, but my own mentality, where it's very similar to, if I'm not doing this, then I might as well be dead. But it's more of, because of how my brain works there, I'm very negative on myself, very negative. And so when I'm doing all of these projects and I'm pushing myself to the point where I have myself literally told people to never do things like I'm doing. Like now with everything, I'm
relationship with yourself.
Exactly. It's like I'm doing 18 hours a day right now for months, and it's not healthy. No one should ever do what I'm doing, ever. But I'm doing it. But I do it out of spite, because there has been so many people that have told me that it's never going to work, and there has been so many in my own self saying, dude, you're gonna fucking fail. Like you're just like, no, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna prove myself wrong, because fuck me. So I get the overall idea of what you're saying and why it's not great, but at the same time, I get it.
Mentality. Plus, it's like, I love this stuff so much that I can't even picture myself switching into a different career. Like, if worse came to worse and like I had to, I just can't see it ever happening because I don't know how to function in other places, no matter how much I try to. Because there's just such a deep love for film and for the industry, even when it sucks and everything's working against you. I'm like, I would still rather be failing here than succeeding at something that I don't want to do.
100% agree. And I fought it for a long time just because of the upbringing I had with my dad there. I really fought against the industry for a very long time, but every time I would it's just like it creeps back into my brain. It's like I need to create. I have this deep-seated need to create and put shit out there, and the more it kind of backburnered and built up in me, it's like I can't do anything else. I have to. This is like my last chance of doing anything, so we're gonna fucking do it. And I can't do anything else. I can't.
Yeah.
So
when I was in these post-production hell for the last 2 years of being like, I don't know how to get stuff made and I don't have the money to pay a lot of people to do it for me, that's what pushed me into like, okay, well, learn how to edit, like learn how to use a camera. Like I can use a camera and take great photos, but there's a difference with like videography. So teaching myself how to eliminate those things, like the more stuff that I can just check off that I could do on my own, helped push that creativity forward, and it helped get things, you know, across the finish line. Definitely.
And that actually rolls into the next thing, which is talking about adding into your toolbox, which I feel is extremely important. Especially with no budget, as somebody who is very no budget, and people going, well, why don't you find people to help you? It's like, no, I don't want to not pay anybody.
Yes.
So if I can't pay someone to do something, I'll do it myself, because I don't mind not paying me. That's fine. But I'm not going to put someone else out of their time and effort if I can't, support them. So when I have money to pay somebody, I'm going to bring in somebody way better that can do the job way better than I can. But right now I have no choice, because I wouldn't ask anyone else to do what I'm doing for free. So that's understandable for you. And how has that been going for you? Have you been finding it very easy to pick up? Is it more of a challenge than you thought? Where are you landing with it all?
I'll say that now that I'm better at editing. That helps a lot behind the camera, because there were a lot of stuff where I was like, okay, none of these scenes are going to work because none of them connect, because I wasn't shooting to edit. I was shooting because I liked that shot, and I should have been thinking about that kind of stuff. So it's definitely been helping director wise and how I can connect scenes together. And the amazing use of B-roll, which I'm like, I can always throw B-roll in if I need to. But it has helped a ton, and it's made me feel a lot more confident in what I'm doing. And I always feel like I need to pay people, because 1000%, if you're doing a job, you should be getting paid for it, and this industry sucks for it. But I also know that sometimes I can't. And I'll put it out there, be like, I can't pay, but if you want to be a part of this, let me know. And then those people always get filed in the back of my mind, where if a paid opportunity comes up, I'm going to go to them first and be like, I get that I couldn't pay you in this project, but here's a project that I can pay you on. And I always make sure that things like food and transport and gas, all that's covered no matter what. And so far it's been okay. And I always like, if I can promote them in any way, because I'm like, thank you for giving me your time and your energy to this project that I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. Maybe it'll sit on a shelf for 2 years, like a couple of these have been. But like, I appreciate you. And if I can give you work elsewhere, if I can recommend you for work, then I will always do that.
Dude, you and I have the exact same thought process in this shit. I love that. I really do. Well, it's again, it's like going back to the community, the cafe I created there. It was like, that's literally the entire point of it, was just creatives helping creatives. It was just building up everybody because it needs to happen. And so you having that mentality and then wanting to give back to the people that have given to you is I love it. That's so great. It's so good.
Because that's what it should be. The whole thing is that you work with your friends, you work with people you like, and when you can raise them up, you raise them up. And normally that comes back full circle, where if they can raise you up, they'll raise you up.
Definitely.
Also, like, I spent years not getting paid for work. Like I put in my dues where now I'm like, okay, I have to actually get paid for stuff. But there are still a few people where I'm like, you know what? I love you. I believe in you. We're tight. I could give you some stuff for free if you like needed it and it doesn't, affect anything else that I'm doing.
Personally, I think that's a very good mentality to have. You should always get paid, with some exceptions of it, as long as I'm not going out of my way to an extent. I will help anybody with anything, like having a chat about shit.
Money.
Yeah, but it's like if I have to spend my own money, or it's a very big deal, then okay, we'll talk. But yeah, no, just like general helping out and all that stuff. Promoting, absolutely free to do.
Yeah, promoting's always free for everybody out there. It's free to just help your friends and their businesses and their careers. Like and share their stuff on Instagram. Like tell people about it. Like if you have business cards or QR codes, like give them to people, whether it's in film industry or they just have a business. Yeah. The easiest thing you can do that's free is just sharing it.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and that's it needs to happen more, but I love when I see it happen. I think it's just, I don't know, I'm a positive person overall. I try to try to be like
I'm
that.
very outwardly positive, but like inwardly very negative.
Well, yeah, no, it's there's that dichotomy of depending on how you're looking.
There's always a duality of me being like, oh my god, everybody is so great, what are you talking about, everyone's trash. Yes. Like there's always that. Yeah. Like
well, I call it jaded optimism is how it is for me. It's like I trust everyone, I will go out of my way, but I'm always ready for them to fuck me over somehow.
Yeah. Even people who I've known for years, I'm like, is this the day? Is this the day that our 20-year friendship is done? No? Okay.
It's like, all right. Go for the hug. Go for the, okay. I'm watching you.
Yeah.
Watching
We're
you, motherfucker.
Like, we have been best friends for like 10 years. And I'm like, yeah, but then that's like the long con. Is this you're going to fuck me over?
Just wait, man. I get it. Filming out here is actually probably a little bit better. There's quite a lot happening right now.
Yeah, because you guys kind of get a lot of Hollywood. I mean, we get Hollywood stuff here too.
Well, it used to be really, really good out here for the longest time, and then the government changed a lot of the tax breaks and shit, which tanked it hard. Well, we had TV shows running here in the 90s. Like we had 3, 4, 5. Well, my dad worked on one of them. So I was on that set all the time. That was awesome.
I'm always so unaware that like it's province to province.
Yes.
Like that things change. And then I'm always just like, Ontario's getting the shit into the stick all the time. And I'm like, well, I actually don't know that because I don't know what happens in their provinces. Like Vancouver gets everything. They're so great at BC. West Coast, best coast.
It pisses me off how great their shit is out there because everything else is so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that's where the main industry, well, like it shifted from here over there, and I don't know why Ontario gets such shit overall. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Like when you go through what's that website, Ontario Creates, and you see what's in production now. Granted, it is union stuff that's in production. I don't think they post about what non-union stuff is happening, but like we'll have like 15 to 20 things versus Vancouver's like 40 things. And I'm like, man, if I was out there, I could be auditioning for the Final Destination TV show. That's my second favorite franchise.
Right.
And I'm sad that it's not here.
Right. Yeah, no, and I think, well, that's another thing that it's easier if you have money to travel. Right?
Yes.
Like it's a lot easier to go just fly over there and audition for shit. But you don't have the money. What the fuck are you gonna do? It's
also it's like not that simple anymore either, because when they hire BC people, it's like tax-paying BC people, which
True.
I wouldn't technically be. I mean, I'm sure I could lie and commit like minor fraud, but like,
whoa. Let's not drop that one on the podcast. I don't want to be held liable in any way here, man. Cut it now.
Your podcast just gets subpoenaed and they're like, she admitted that she would commit fraud. Now she's doing it.
Dragging me into your legal shit, man. Come on. Why would you do that to me? Okay. We're gonna start wrapping it up because we're actually way past the time now.
No,
say what?
No, we're not. I don't know. So whatever.
Well, we're at 41 minutes. I mean, I don't care. I'm just saying we have other things to discuss that are not recorded.
Oh yeah, the other stuff.
The other stuff that no one will know about till later.
To know about.
Because that's how we do. Okay, so I think we've learned a lot about you that fans might be surprised to learn. Is there anything else that you can think of that people don't know about you that you want to drop right now?
I don't know. Don't learn more stuff about me. Just surface level see everything. You go too deep, you're like, oh, that's a swamp of sadness I can't get out of. Like
Sorry, that was the most real moment I've ever seen in someone. You're just like, I don't know.
I don't know. I want you guys to learn about me. I like
so
to crochet. That's my new hyperfixation. I collect VHS tapes and tiki mugs and
stuff. We actually have like 5 or 6 crocheters in the community, and they're always posting their shit. It's really nice. It's really good. If you ever need some inspo and shit.
Love it. I made one blanket, got excited, made another blanket, got excited, and now I'm working on one that's like a Jason mask. And I was like, that would be so easy for me to do. I'm gonna bump that out in no time. I am like 400 squares into it, and I'm not even close to being done. And I'm like, why? Why did I do this to myself? Like, this isn't a weekend project now. This is my whole life.
You got no choice. Got to start. Everything goes on the back burner because I got to finish this.
Now my thing where I'm just constantly doing this because it's going to take me the rest of the year to finish. I mean,
should have been doing it right now during the interview. You're wasting time.
I like to did it because my stuff is like right here, and I was like, underneath the camera, just like keep looking down every now and then, being like, yeah, no, this is this is good. I'm not doing anything just out of frame.
Okay, so we learned some more new shit there. If you could collaborate with anybody in any industry to do one project and one project only, nothing in the future, you get one shot, who are you working with? Anybody, director, actor, doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, actor-wise, he is not a horror dude whatsoever. I just think it would be the best set to be on to work with Jason Mantzoukas, who, like, for people out there who like don't know who that is, he was Pimento in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's on the How Did This Get Made podcast with Paul Scheer and June Diane. He was Raffi in The League. Like, he is very funny, and he is a wildly crazy like improviser. Everybody thinks he's great. Connie Britton was like with him for so long, and they broke up, and she was like, he was so great. And I'm like, how often does that happen? Where people are like, they were a dick and that's why we broke up. It's like, no, we just wanted different things. He's an amazing human. And then director wise, there's so many directors that like I want to work with on different scales. Like, there is Doug Campbell. For those of you who don't know, he directs a lot of the real good Lifetime movies, and I would love to work with him because I think that would be so much fun. I'll go to Whitendale College. That's an inside joke that like the 5 people who listen to this podcast who watch Lifetime films will get. They'll be like, oh snap, Whitendale. And then God, just, there are so many people in the horror industry that I would like kill to work with, that hopefully one day I'll get the chance. Hopefully I'll be making a Shudder original at some point, or hell, I'll settle for a Tubi original. I'll make so many Tubi originals. I'll get into Blumhouse. Like, there's just a lot. It's hard to pick and choose one person because I want to work with everybody, and I want to work with people who are up and coming and who might not have had their like big break movie yet. Because that's how we get these new people. We have to give them that one movie that's gonna like transcend them, and then we're like, where have they been all our lives?
But now you're getting off of the question that I asked and going into your dreams and hopes. Yeah. We're not talking about your dreams and hopes right now.
Put me on the spot again. Nah, I can't name a single director besides what I'm looking at in front of me.
See, exactly. You got so much shit there, man. Come on, just have a set list for all interviews.
I want to remake this film, Jawbreakers. You can't see it.
Oh God, that would be so good.
It would be.
Oh.
And like, I just think I could do it. Supergirl, and like Darren Stein is great, and everyone in it's great. That was like lightning in a bottle. Also, I have Practical Magic because that's one of my all-time favorite movies.
A solid one.
And every time I like see Griffin Dunn in something, I'm like, you directed Practical Magic. Look at you.
You know what? It was.
Or else not knowing how much he affected my life as a director.
It was a very solid movie. I very much enjoyed it. But I haven't even thought about Jawbreakers in so long. That would be a fan. Oh, it is. It was amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
And
that would be a great. That's spinning wheels, man.
I don't know how much stuff he does anymore, but Michael Patrick Jan, who directed Drop Dead Gorgeous, I think he does a lot of, he did a lot of Reno 911 stuff. I should really look into see if he's doing more stuff. Oh my God, I would love to work with like Bill Lawrence, who was like such a good comedic guy, but like he can hit you in the heart when he wants to. Like in Ted Lasso, there was so many moments where I was like, why do you have to hit me in the emotions and the feels?
So then, where do I want to go with this one? You know what? We're gonna bring it back. Tell me about your YouTube channel and what you would like to do with your YouTube channel.
Yeah. So I started it as a way to just talk about movies and new releases that I like. And my whole thing for it was I wanted to do like top 10s of other movies, really explore more of the horror genre. And I wanted to interview a ton more people. And like, I worked on it a ton. That's kind of how I started into editing, because I was like, if I can edit a YouTube video, I could probably edit other stuff. And then I realized there's a lot more work in editing other stuff. But then like fucking my whole life, just life happens and things get put on the back burner. And for those of you who don't know, in September, I got into a car accident, and that kind of physically messed me up for a bit, but also just emotionally messed me up for a bunch of months. And I'm only now kind of starting to like slowly kind of work my way back into things. So I do want to start doing more interviews, because I do have access to all these really great people in the horror community that I could be interviewing and just putting on the channel instead of just doing like trailer reactions and talking about new releases, which is fine and well. But I was kind of hoping to have more of it. And eventually, when the situation with my apartment works out, I'm not going to get into that because it's a whole fucking thing. I want to be able to move some stuff around in here and actually set up a place where I can bring people to my at-home studio that isn't this, and like interview people here and have like a nice couch set up, or maybe like a late night show where I have a desk and a mug, and kind of go more that way, because I really wanted to take it into a hosting situation versus just talking about movies, even though I do just want to talk about movies. Like I want to talk about movies all the friggin' time and just connect people and connect with people. And yeah, hopefully I fucking get my shit together and start doing that. But like, give me some time. I have like my notebooks out where I'm trying to work everything out. I'm going to create a new schedule where I'm going to be like, this is what I have to do, and I'll get back on it.
I'll make sure of it. Because I'm like that dad that just watches over people's. Have you done your homework yet?
Yeah.
How about now?
You don't get to play outside unless you do your homework.
Exactly.
But also, you realize that being like, I don't want to be a content creator, but even being like a minor one with like a YouTube channel or like an Instagram page, like it's so much goddamn work.
Oh yeah.
And
well,
like,
so just for context for everybody listening, when I started this podcast there, a month ago, 2 months ago, I was like, yeah, I'll just do a couple podcasts and all that shit. Well, it took me a week just to create all the counts I needed to upload the podcast to, then attach everything so everything's attached. And then there's the Instagram, Threads, Facebook, TikTok, which I fucking hate.
I hate TikTok. I just like repost other videos of movie clips constantly.
And then I re-signed up for Twitter because it's a fantastic place to actually get fucking views and shit. So I'm posting on all of those things for this, plus my own shit, plus the cafe. it's a full-time job within a full-time job that I'm not getting paid for. So before you get into content creating, know that shit.
It's a lot.
It is. But yeah, so okay. Speaking of content, where can everybody find you?
Ooh. So on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and Threads and I don't know where else, but all my handles are the Alihappell because I like to have them all mingled together, and that's minorly why I got rid of my Facebook page because they wouldn't let me change it to the Alihappell, and I was like, fuck you, change it. No one else has it, so just do it. And they wouldn't, and I was like, fine, delete. I like having everything to be under one searchable thing.
It's literally how you should do it. I was unable to do that because I created the cafe first before actually checking the names on everything. So most things are Creative Coffee Cafe, but there is like Twitter, which is Cole Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
But I did get the website. I did get the fucking website address. That made me happy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I have a website and it's just alihappell.ca. Didn't get that .com, but I got that .ca.
Hey, you know what? You gotta have the .ca.
It's more indicative of who I am. I'm Canadian.
Exactly. Which makes you like, I think, the third person on the podcast that's actually a Canadian.
What? Yes.
That's right. That's right.
The Great White North.
Where life is better. Way better.
It's okay.
Just don't look too deep and it's way better.
Yeah, surface level, we're all just super nice people eating our poutines. Bragging about having free healthcare. But much like me, don't go below the surface level.
No,
just stay on the top.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming. It has been an absolute pleasure. We're going to have you back. I will be bringing you back for the film roundtable.
And you'll tell me stuff beforehand, so I don't come on here looking like a dick.
No. That's the whole point of how I run my roundtables is I don't tell anybody anything. I just start asking questions and y'all got to talk.
Dare you?
Because I'm a dick like that.
I like to be prepared.
I know, and that's why I do it this way. Is because everyone's like, no, I wouldn't even let me know. No. We're doing it my way, motherfuckers. It's more fun. Way more fun.
I'm just have to write so many random notes of things I think I want to talk about before I go on.
Exactly, and then I'll make sure to have a whole bunch of things that are so out of there, you're just gonna throw you off. It'll be amazing.
I mean, probably. Because I clearly get thrown off by easy things like naming a director.
It has been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
I swear I know film industry stuff. I just didn't prepare.
Thank you again so much. And yeah, we will definitely talk again soon. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
That wraps up another incredible episode of the Dripping Creativity Podcast. We hope you enjoyed diving into the world of horror and filmmaking with Alihappell as much as we did. Allie's journey was amazing, and I can't wait to see everything she does in the future. If you found inspiration in Allie's stories, don't forget to share this episode with your friends and fellow creatives. Like it, get notified. I don't know, just help us out, man. We're trying to grow here. We're trying to do some amazing shit. It's going to be fun, I promise. As always, we love to hear your thoughts and feedback, so leave us a comment or review. I've been your host, Chris Corvan. You can find me everywhere at Chris of the Void. And remember, stay creative, stay inspired. Until next time, see ya.